not just for myself, but for this whole team. We gotta figure it out, get our head out our asses, and stop feeling sorry for ourselves. For whatever reason, that's the problem. We're not playing with no sense of urgency, and like I said, we're out there feeling sorry for ourselves, and I don't understand why. Today, we just didn't have no energy, no sense of urgency. We almost led the whole game, and you wouldn't even have thought we did, just because how our energy was and how nobody was smiling, nobody was happy for whatever reason. That's taking a toll on this team, and it's got to turn around quick.
Celtics fall to the Hawks 109-101. This is the Garden Report on CLNS Radio and Celtics blog, powered by
Grandstand. Yeah.
Yes, I'm the boss.
What's going on, everybody? I am Jimmy Toscano here with Sam Packard of WEEI, and we are going to take you through a rough one at the TD Garden tonight. Celtics lose to the Atlanta Hawks 109-101, and although they were winning for most of the game, you really couldn't tell. Other than the actual score above us, you would have no idea that the Celtics were winning in this game because they played flat from start to finish, in my opinion, and I think in the opinion of all of them after the game, hearing them speak. Brad Stevens wasn't a fan of the intensity there on the court, and Isaiah Thomas actually had some really harsh words for his guys, saying that you really just couldn't tell. You know, they weren't even happy when they were winning. They didn't have that emotion. They didn't have that fire out there. And the Hawks, a veteran team, a team that's proven to win a bunch of games. Last year, I think they won 60 games. A little bit of a slow start to their season this year, but the Hawks are a very good team, and if you let them hang around long enough, they are going to step it up, and we saw that tonight late in the fourth quarter. But I want to talk about the first half. First few minutes of the game actually was ugly. I mean,
There's one of the ugliest games I've ever seen.
Yeah. I mean, we were talking about it at halftime, like, are they really going to make us watch the second half of this game? I mean, the first half was so pathetic. It could only get better. Luckily, it did get a little more interesting, but unfortunately for the Celtics, they didn't come up on top. So what did you see there, I guess, going in that second half? I mean, when things started to pick up at least a little bit.
Jay Crowder had an amazing third quarter. He came out and dropped 15 points, but I see the real turning point in this game was in the fourth quarter. The Celtics just couldn't play any interior defense. Paul Millsap was 5 of 6, scored 15 points. Al Horford had 8 points, and Isaiah Thomas said after the game they basically ran the same pick and roll play 5 times in a row, and the Celtics couldn't do anything to stop it. They had a real trouble stopping interior defense, and it was kind of confusing to me because Amir Johnson in that fourth quarter only played 45 seconds, and that was at the real end of the game. Jonas Jerebko got a lot of the time, and I thought that's what Amir Johnson was brought in here to do, was to kind of lock up that interior defense, and we didn't see him on the court, and the Celtics kind of suffered, outscored 38-28 in that fourth quarter.
Yeah, and points in the paint was 68-36, so that goes hand in hand with what you were saying with Amir Johnson. That is kind of strange, actually, that Amir was out for so long. I mean, the Celtics clearly were trying to go smaller, I guess, there, but when you are getting attacked in the paint the way they were, and I know that the Celtics, when they gave up that lead in the fourth quarter, it was all points in the paint, it was layups, it was and one fouls, it was lacking of that presence down low, and you know that Jerebko's not giving you much on the offensive end either, so that kind of hurt them on the other side of the ball. But yeah, I mean, it was a tough fourth quarter, I thought. Obviously, I mean, when you go down, Celtics had a 6-point lead there in the middle of that fourth quarter. They let the Hawks score 8 straight, and that's when the momentum changes, and then you've got issues.
Especially bad was Kelly Olynyk had a terrible stretch, 3 plays in a row, traveled, just a real sloppy offensive foul, and then went for a rebound that was clearly going to be Celtics ball, but he just stepped on the line. And I think immediately after that, the Hawks went on a run and led ever since.
That was huge. You know, the third turnover by Olynyk was just so unnecessary. I mean, just let the ball go out of bounds. It's not like you have a transition basket coming. Everyone's already walking back. Just let the ball go out of bounds. And the Hawks took that inbounds and they hit a 3 right after that to bring them within 2 points. I think the Celtics stretched it out a couple more points after that, but immediately the Hawks went on that run after it because they were starting to see that ball go in the hoop. You start taking advantage of those turnovers, and that's all it takes. All right, now we're going to show you one of those key fourth quarter mishaps for the Celtics via our Grandstand app. Grandstand is the new sports app. Sports highlights straight from the crowd. Share your own sports highlights and watch videos straight from the crowd, all from the fans' perspective. Download the Grandstand app at the App Store or on grandstand.me. And this is a key play because it was a tie game at this point, fourth quarter. Paul Millsap drives to the lane, gets fouled by Jonas Jerebko, hits the bucket, shoots the free throw, nails that 2, and the Hawks never trail for the rest of the game. That's one of the many issues for the Celtics in this one as they fall 109-101 to the Atlanta Hawks. We will have you right here, stay right here, because we're going to have some Jay Crowder talk coming up in the next video, because Crowder was one of the few guys who actually did bring it tonight for the Celtics.
It all started in the driveway.
I don't think we're playing with the same type of swagger. I think those guys start building that swagger within the second. You start hearing them yell and talk and be excited. We don't show any passion, any excitement anymore. We got to get back to that.
Why don't you think?
I don't know. We got to figure it out. I really don't know. Playing for one another, I think, is a big part of it. We got to learn how to do that and get outside of ourselves and get our swagger back, get our excitement back.